Hi, Jimmy Jam Oracle. Thank you for coming to my channel today. We are doing a Girl World reading for Amberlynn. And remember to welcome the spirits just like I welcome you. And let's get started. We are going to do a Celtic cross for Amber. So as I'm shuffling the cards, let's focus our energy, our thoughts on Amber. Help the spirits out, guide them to where we need them to. Find Amber's energy. And I love doing Celtic crosses because Amber hasn't really been on camera to give us any specific things to ask questions about, and Celtic crosses are great for just generalization. Usually, and sometimes, the Celtic cross will point us in the right direction. All right, let's give a couple more good shuffles again, thinking about Amber. Okay. So let's start with the first card. It's Amber's card, her present state. Let's see. We have the King of Pentacles. He's reversed. This is greed, indulgence, material loss, stubborn, obsessed with wealth and status, and financially inept. I think all the girls in Girl World are financially inept. But again, we're talking about greed. We're talking about indulgence. Could Amber just be sitting in her apartment, door dashing? Absolutely. That wouldn't be surprising to anyone. I do believe Amber is, even though she is financially inept, I really do believe, I do think she is obsessed with obtaining money and like wealth and status. Definitely the status of her YouTube channel. I do believe she has taken kind of a windfall with Aunt Tammy coming on her live. I think that's probably one of her most watched videos right now, so she's probably enjoying the fruits of the labor on that. It does talk about material loss, but I don't really think that applies to Amber, at least not that part of the card. I don't know what material loss she would have, unless we're talking about the TV that supposedly broke. But let's continue on. We have the second card. It's her obstacle card. So let's read that. We have the Five of Swords. It is reversed. It says past resentment, desire to reconcile, making amends, and desire to forgive. So that's an obstacle for Amber, the making amends. So is it that she wants to make amends and is unable to, or is it that she doesn't want to make amends but she ought to? Not sure what the card is here trying to represent, or and again, like, we're assuming like maybe this is about Aunt Tammy, maybe that's desire to forgive, to reconcile. I honestly, that's not the energy I'm getting from this card. It's more of I'm getting like past love, like Emily. Honestly how I'm seeing Emily. That's the kind of the feeling, like that desire to forgive, to reconcile. So it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up back together, if they're not already. But let's continue on. We have the goal or destiny card. It could be like a secret wish that she has, or fear. Well, not a secret one, but like something that's definitely sitting on top of her mind. We have the Page of Cups. And it says creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy surprise, dreamer, sensitivity, and new love. New love and the desire to reconcile, kind of. I for some reason I'm feeling that goes hand in hand. Even like creative opportunities, like Amber, when it comes to her love life, I do believe she uses them to the extent of like putting them on. She knows putting them on her channel is monetarily good for her. Like, new character unlocked. Even like the dreamer, happy surprise. Like, I do think, again, again, this doesn't have to be something that's currently happening. It's something like Amber could be wishing for, she's thinking about right now. In fact, the dreamer part of the card pretty much says that this is kind of like a fantasy that she has, that she can bring in a partner and she can make in that, you know, that money and have someone to like bounce ideas off of. I really do think that's a wish that she has. All right, so we move on to the fourth card, a distant past foundation. So what has led up to where we are now? We have the High Priestess. She is reversed. It says secrets, harm, hidden agenda, disconnected from intuition, withdrawal, silence, selfish, shallowness, ignorance, and misunderstanding. Yeah, I think this is Amber, especially the selfish, the shallowness. Oh, cool! My candle blew out. All right, thank you, spirits. Talking about ignorance and misunderstanding, a hidden agenda, like definitely like Amber's past, either with relationships or sorry, my neighbor's dog is barking. Yeah, definitely with like relationships, you know, even like the secrets part, even the harm part. So like this is spirits just letting us know, like, yeah, this is the foundation of her relationships, or at least this is what she's done in the past. We move on to the fifth card. It's another foundation, but usually it's more recent. So we have strength, but it is reversed. And it's talking about inner strength, self-doubt, weakness, insecurity, low energy, raw emotion, struggle, and pride. Pride is definitely a obstacle for Amber. I think maybe this is referring to the Aunt Tammy mess, where we're talking about raw emotion, we're talking about pride, we're even talking about weaknesses and self-doubt. Insecurity. I think insecurity has been a constant in Amber's life. I think it explains a lot about girl world, but I digress. We're even talking about low energy, and that's just Amber's willingness to get on camera. Here lately it seems like it's been less and less, or even to stay on camera, because she like pretty much times her live streams. All right, so we move on to the sixth card. I believe that's the future influence card. So what are we on the lookout for? The Ace of Swords. It is reversed. It says confusion, brutality, chaos, inner clarity, rethinking an idea, and clouded judgment. Okay, rethinking an idea kind of brings me back to reconcile with the obstacle, where it's talking about desire to reconcile, making amends. That's what I'm thinking about, the rethinking an idea, or maybe even the Page of Cups up here, when I was thinking about creative opportunities and how she views those. And like that could be the rethinking of an idea, like, oh yeah, well maybe I shouldn't do that. Or maybe even like she changes her mind about wanting to reconcile with a certain somebody. But we're also talking about brutality and chaos. Brutality especially is jumping out at me, just because Amber can be definitely emotionally brutal and supposedly physically, but we'll just have to keep an eye out for that, find out what's going on there. And let's move on to the seventh card. This is just a card for Amber. It's her, what they call it? Yeah, it's just about the questioner. So we have the Star. It is reversed, and it says lack of faith, despair, discouragement, insecurity, self-trust, and disconnection. Again, we're bringing up insecurity in the past, and I do believe in the present as well. Like I said, I feel like insecurity is a constant in girl world. And it's funny, it's also talking about disconnection in the Star, and here again in the past foundation we have disconnected from intuition. So Yeah, I believe that the spirits are saying, as Amber has been in the past, she is still now. Where she's just not in tune with herself. She has that insecurity. She's disconnected from herself, emotionally, I believe. So pretty much the problems in Amber's past are her problems now. So she hasn't changed. Just with this, again, like what the spirits are just trying to say, I think. Move on to the 8th card. It's the outside influence card. So what's sitting on the outside of Amber? We have the 6 of Pentacles. It's reversed. This is self-care, unpaid debts, one-sided charity, strings attached, power and domination. So again, this is also like another common girl world theme of control. In this case, it's wording it as power and domination. This is something I think the girls of girl world are constantly looking for, at least Amber and Foodie. But this is, again, like, this is an outside influence, so this makes me think this is what people are thinking about her her current situation. The one-sided charity, I do feel a financial pull from this card, and it's not Amber. The one-sided charity, I think, is Aunt Tammy coming on to Amber's channel, and then, like I said in the beginning, Amber receiving that windfall. And then we're talking about self-care as well, and I believe that's pretty much what Amber is doing right now in the first card, where we're talking about, talking about indulgence. When I was saying, like, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if she's just kind of getting DoorDash, and it seems like maybe I'm not the only one who feels that way. All right, so let's move on to the, where are we? The 9th card. It says inner emotion. So this could be the secret fear or wish that Amber has. Let's find out. Temperance, but she's reversed. It says imbalance, excess, extremes, overindulgence, alcoholism / addiction, self-healing, and realignment. Secret fear, I think. I think Amber is afraid that the kind of food issue that she has is a form of addiction. She definitely knows she's overindulging. Again, we're talking about imbalance, excess. And it's funny that this could be a secret fear for Amber, despite the fact that she seems unwilling to change her ways. Or perhaps it's one of those things where she feels like she can stop at any time. You know, like, oh, if I wanted to change, when I'm ready to change, I can do it. But I think she is afraid that with the addiction part, that's possible. You know, it's a possibility that she's slowly realizing that she can't just quit whenever she wants to. She has to continue. At least that's what the addiction tells her to. Again, like the fear, I think, is when it's talking about self-healing and realignment, like that's something that she can't obtain. That's part of the fear. All right, let's move on to the outcome card, everyone's favorite card, my favorite card, the Queen of Swords, but she is reversed. It says overly emotional, easily influenced, bitchy, cold-hearted, cruel, and bitter. I believe this is the card I got for her the last reading I did for her. The over-emotional, the bitchy, the cold-hearted, cruel, bitter. This is Amber's outcome. All of this right here has led to this. So it seems like the spirits are saying when she comes back, she'll continue this cold-hearted, this bitter, this bitchy kind of attitude that she's had here lately. But let's see if the spirits have anything else they would like to add. Let me just kind of scoot these little guys to the side. Pull out the other deck. Spirits, is there anything you would like to add to this Queen of Swords, this outcome card for Amber? Oh, there, I had a jumper. Romantic love affair. Secret lover. And it's funny we get that when we're talking about, again, like making amends, desire to forgive. Although Emily wouldn't be exactly a secret. Oh, I have another jumper. Too busy winning. Yeah, I think Amber does feel like that sometimes. Like she's just completely killing life, you know, like even like the business with Aunt Tammy, I think Amber feels like she came out on top. And it's funny because I predicted that she would, or at least that's what the spirits were telling me, but that's clearly not what's happened unless the spirits were like pulling from Amber's point of view. Like again, Amber always feels like she's winning. So if you ask the spirits, well, is Amber going to win? The spirits are going to be like, well, yeah, well, she's going to feel like she does. All right, see if the spirits have anything else to say. What's the tea? Talking shit. Again, another really common girl world card. I just got it for Foodie. Ignoring. Definitely, I think Amber's going to try to ignore the situation. Oh, and rejected. Huh. Rejected and ignoring. Talking shit. Okay, spirits, things just took a turn. It's funny that the cat is in the picture. It's talking about ignoring. Spirits, can you tell us who's feeling rejected? Who's feeling rejected? In their head, overthinking, stressed, overanalyzing. No facts. Never has facts, makes shit up, lies. So, probably Amber. Always partying. And it's funny because always partying and too busy winning. I know this is a trophy, but it's taking on the shape of a cup. It's also taking on a shape. It's a glass, but it's a cup. I don't know why that feels important to me. The cups. Cups in tarot usually are they're emotional cards. I do feel like I'm getting Amber because it can make shit up, lies, with the talking shit as well. Even the overthinking and stressed, like I don't know why I'm getting Amber. Hang on, let's pull out the other deck real quick. All right, spirits, can you say anything about these cards? Can you help explain them to me? What are you trying to say? I mean, maybe this is how they explain her attitude, you know, like she thinks she ought to be winning. She thinks she ought to be celebrating, partying. And here she is, she's having to lie, make things up. She has to start talking shit just to keep her insecurities at bay. We have death. We have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Five of Wands as well. So with death, we're talking about change. Sudden, permanent change. And even talking about like it could be the end of a cycle, metamorphosis, a new beginning. But definitely a big change. And it's funny because we got the death card in Amber's last read. So that's saying like, yeah, something big is going to happen, a big change. And with that, with the Knight of Wands, is reversed as passion project, anger, scattered energy, delays, and frustration. So again, you know, the cards were talking about bitchiness, being bitter. And now this card is talking about anger, talking about frustration. So there's going to be a big change that really pisses Amber off. Then we have upright. Five of Wands is talking about competition, rivalry, conflict, disagreement, strife, and tension. Now, could this be more tension with Tammy? For some reason, I'm not feeling that, but I'm not completely letting go of it either. The disagreements, the strife, the tension, I'm thinking of a partner, of love. I'm thinking of a romantic love affair. I think that's what the spirits are trying to say. Something drastic is going to happen. Maybe her and Emily get into another fight. And it's going to end with more talking shit. And no facts. Making things up. Who's making things up? Probably Amber, to be honest with you. She has a habit of doing that. She has history of it anyway. But thank you guys for joining me for today's read, and keep an eye out for all this drama that the spirits are promising for Amber. And remember, we thank the spirits for helping us out today, just like I thank you for, hanging out with me today. If you got this far, I appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day.